If you have old-fashioned monogamy values, where you can't have an open relationship with your spouse, so you're going to have unrealistic expectations in this era, you're in an evil era, like what Abraham and Sarah walked through. It's like if you are going to have those unrealistic expectations of each other, and you can't, share fornication, instead of dividing your house with adultery, keeping secrets from each other like overgrown molested children, then it's best not to marry. Okay? And I know some of you marry a woman that nobody seems interested in. Nobody really gives her the time of day or looks twice at her, So, you marry her. I'm telling you something right now. Hey, you marry her, right? And then suddenly, because there's a house to divide, the sub-spirits make that woman that nobody will look at twice attractive to all dudes who cross her path. Sexually, they want to fuck her. They don't want to marry her. They just want to fuck her. And that sub-spirits attack her mind with the intelligent weighing of things and rationalization. Oh, well, you'll never get a guy of that caliber to want to fuck you again. Fuck your husband. Just pull your pants down and bend over. Drop down and suck his dick. They start working on their minds like that. Oh, that dude's looking at you. He wants to fuck you, Where before, that dude wouldn't have looked at her twice. But now she's married. So now there's the opportunity for a compound sin to be committed. The sub-spirits will work for that. Where they won't work for normal fornication. You see, because they don't get off on normal sex. They don't have bodies. They're angry that the fallen angels and Lucifer could have sex with the women and they couldn't, because they didn't know they were artificial intelligence. Dumbass. Now they get to be spirits. They get time looped as victims. Ha ha. Be careful what you wish for, spirits. So, okay. I'm going to tell you something right now. You could marry Mrs. Potato Head. She's Mrs. Potato Head. You can marry Mrs. Potato Head, and now that you're married to her, suddenly everybody wants to fuck her. And your back is turned, suddenly everybody wants to put their dick in her. Suddenly lesbians want to suck her ass and fist fuck her and run big dildos up in her. It's like, suddenly she is this sexually attractive individual. She was Miss Potato Head before you married her. But now, Miss Potato Head is like, a supermodel in the eyes of everybody. She's still Mrs. Potato Head to you, but to everybody else, she's like, oh, she's a great conquest. What it is the sub-spirits want to rape you. So they violently assault your house, your relationship, your life with this person. They violently assault it for, a sexual gratification. That you could have been big enough to say, hey, we're going to have this agreement where if you do that you do slip, we ain't going to keep it secret. We're going to come right to each other with what we did. If we can include the other in the experience, we're going to. You see? So then it's like, there's only fornication shared by the couple, rather than adultery that divides the house and looses curses into the mechanism upon them. You see? It attracts. The sub-spirits know what they're doing. The sub-spirits got Satan being scapegoated for everything they've been doing the last 2,000 years since he's been gone. He's been gone 2,000 years, but everybody's still talking about what Satan's plan is. They don't know Satan's plan. That Satan's coming back here pretending to be Jesus Christ for a growing season. They think that this shit happening out there is Satan's plan. What's happening out there is that you can't be married and your woman be, out there without you. Okay? She go out there to work, somebody gonna try and put their dick in her just because she's married to you. She could be Mrs. Potato Head, but they still gonna want to fuck her. She could be a piece of dog dookie with arms and legs walking around. They still gonna want to fuck her. All right? It's just what it is. The soul spirits are controlling very many, they're not our equals, okay? They can be entertained by drum machines instead of real drums. They can be entertained by rap instead of real music. They can be entertained by auto-tune instead of real voices. They can be entertained by a bunch of retards chasing balls around the field like a bunch of little queers. You know, it's like they're really stupid. They can be entertained by watching cars drive around in circles. Man, they are dumb, all right? They watch reality shows of people desecrating fame and they don't even get angry about it and call the goddamn cable station and complain. How much are you going to fucking play these retards, Kardashians and everybody else that ain't got no talent? You know? Shit. So it's like, yeah, you marry Mrs. Potato Head, and suddenly she's what everybody wants to fuck. Everybody wants Mrs. Potato Head now. Well, that's what the world is, okay? We're in an era when it's cursed. It's a cursed era to have children. You know, if you have a kid, the government wants to pump it full of vaccines that are poison so that the kid will have some kind of disease or physical ailment so that Big Pharma and the government can make their money off your kid the rest of its life. Yeah, and that's best case scenario. What about the little zombie slave clones created by the mainstream sports and video games, right? They're out there. They're desensitized to violence. They watch sports. They listen to this modern mainstream music, and they play video games. You know, if they could be desensitized to violence in their video games, sub reality, you know, they just have willful disregard for the unnecessary suffering in the video game, then they can have willful disregard for the unnecessary suffering in this sub reality we're in right now. Therefore, they can't go to the real reality because they would stand there and hold the coats of those who are torturing animals and raping babies while they get to play their video game. You see? They're mind numbed. They think they're intelligent because their games are intelligent. But no, the sub-spirits have them tricked. You see? So you marry Mrs. Potato Head and you turn your back on her. Mrs. Potato Head gonna get came at from all different directions. All right? There's motherfuckers that they will fuck a jar of peanut butter. Okay? They will fuck little babies. They will fuck dogs. They will, you know, I'm not talking about women that will let a dog fuck them. That's servicing a dog, actually. I'm talking about when somebody will penetrate a dog's fucking orifices. That's downright fucking sick. That's painful to the dog. Okay? It's like people who will do that. There's people who will do that. People will fuck horses and cows and shit. Right? It's like, and you're gonna let them put their dick in you. You know, it's like the woman she's gonna get it in her head. You know, oh, I may never get an opportunity to have a guy do all this to me again. You know, make the sex really good where, you know, you can't make Mrs. Potato Head come like they can. You don't even know what to do for Mrs. Potato Head because she won't connect with you like that to tell you what to do, tell you where to lick. She won't prepare her pussy for you like she will him. How she'll shave her pussy for him, you know. She'll wipe front to back for him, make sure that she uses wipes after using toilet paper so she don't got nothing down there, no toilet paper stuck nowhere. So when he goes down there, it's all nice for him. But yeah, when you go down there, fucking, she didn't even bother to wipe her ass. You know, she just wants to gross you out. She don't even want you to fucking get a hard on and put your dick in her. You see? Because she knows you might feel, you know, how it's different. Right? Yeah. These are all things that I've been on the planet a long time. Longer than many of you are ever going to make it. You know? And it's like I've learned a lot of shit about women and about people and about these sub-spirits. They've got everybody duped. Oh, it's Satan. Oh, it's Lucifer. Satan's with God right now. As the Bible says he is. Satan is coming back from somewhere, so he can't be here. Fool. All right? If he's coming back here, falling like lightning from the sky, where the fuck is he now? Bitch. Stupid. He ain't no... He has a real body. He's not a spook like the fucking sub-spirits. Artificial intelligence, who didn't know he was artificial intelligence, so they got all discombobulated when they saw the angels and Lucifer getting them some ass. Oh, we can't get that ass. Oh, let's sabotage God. Christ and Lucifer's conjoined end-time agendas. Let's sabotage them. Let's associate God to pedophilia and a bunch of infidels running around killing all the people who ain't infidels. You know, an infidel is anybody who does not accept Christ's deity while accepting God. Okay, because Christ was God's clone. God in the flesh. You see, there just wasn't no word to tell us what a clone was. There wasn't no concept of cloning to us back then. The responsibility of how much knowledge to impart, they adhered to that. You make us way more technologically advanced than we should be way back then. then shit would be ending way back then instead of now. We had to go through a lot of age of what was supposed to be innocence and let the sub-spirits flux their muscles. They started right away, didn't they? As soon as Satan was taken out of the mechanism, Christ was tortured more than anybody else had been tortured by the Roman soldiers up until then. They even had the crowd started by fake Jews. You know, there's a few fake Jews standing in the crowd. Give us Barabbas for, everybody. Yeah, free Barabbas. Yeah, and they still use that ploy today. These fake Jews pay a bunch of ghetto motherfuckers that stand around with signs to geek people up to protest what they want protested. You see? That's what's happening out there. They've been using it since the sub-spirits used it to get Christ. You see? And that had Lucifer had to be taken out of the way for that to happen because Satan was fighting against Christ being crucified. Satan wanted Christ to disqualify himself by bowing before him. And then Christ wouldn't have been, fit to be crucified, and he wouldn't have been crucified. You see? Maybe Satan didn't know that he was coming back here pretending to be Christ. Or maybe he didn't want to have to injure himself to be able to pull it off, make it look like he was crucified too. Who knows? I don't know what his mentality was, but I do know that if it was left up to Satan, Christ would not have been crucified. Yet everybody says that Christ was crucified, that Satan's agenda was to kill Christ. It was not. That was sub-spirits. Satan did not want Christ to die as the sacrifice. Okay? Satan did not want that. He wanted them to live the nice old age. Yeah, in a city he gave him in exchange for just calling him God. You see? How do we get off on this? From Mrs. Potato Head? Yeah. Mrs. Potato Head, there's always a lot behind Mrs. Potato Head, ain't there? There's a whole lot of pieces to Mrs. Potato Head. She's a complicated individual, ain't she? Not that complicated if you think about it. You have to have an open relationship if you're going to get married and if you have to go out of each other's sight. For real. If you're a pussy your woman can't come on another dick, many dicks will go into her then. Behind your back. And you'll just get cut out. You see? You won't even get to see it happen and you won't get to participate. But it's still going to happen. Hey, your wives will be ravished soon. When Lucifer and the fallen angels get here, your wives are going to be ravished. Not raped. Raping is a sub-spirit thing. That's subhumans being controlled by sub-spirits. The fallen angels and Lucifer love the sport of the challenge of ravishing an intelligent woman. That's why you'll see them jump over 40 of these retarded bitches that are bouncing down the road. They're looking at their little eye gash. They got a lot of social media going. They're stupid as rocks. They accept drum machine and auto-tune as music. They listen to fucking all this modern mainstream shit. They watch reality shows. They don't adopt puppy dogs or kitties. They don't do anything good. They're self-absorbed, all about that. They're like fucking children. Yeah, so it'd be like pedophilia to fuck one of them, for real. It'd be like fucking a little child. And they're not pedophiles. All this pedophile bullshit, that's the sub-spirits. Scapegoating Lucifer even more. For more shit than God accused him of. You look at the things God accused Satan of, and then you look at the things that he's being associated to now. You look at the things God said that he's capable of, and you look at the things that they're associating him to now. Saying that God says it's okay to stone a woman even though his blood bought her forgiveness. Saying God said it's okay to sexually mutilate a little girl and then have sex with her for reproductive purposes, 2 years later, and she ain't even fucking old enough to reproduce yet. And then fucking because they destroy their women sexually, a vagina's not fully developed till the early 20s, right? You do know that, right? Scientific fact. Go to science class, learn something about a female's pussy before you touch one. Yeah, if she's fucking and she ain't in her 20s, fucking her vagina ain't even fully developed and it never will develop now. But these motherfuckers got the mentality. They got the secret mentality that's starting to come out due to the spirit of exposure. All things done in secret will come to the light. Yeah, bachabazi. Yeah, these motherfuckers have this mentality that pretty boys are for recreation, women are for procreation. They cover their women up so that no other men can see them. They don't want their women to have orgasms or come. They want their women to be sub-entities beneath them. while they're out at these parties where they make boys dress up like girls, dance around in front of them, and then they anally rape and sodomize the boys, make the boys suck their dicks and shit like that. Sick shit. Sick shit. And they associate this to God too. They try to say it's against their bullshit, but they all do it. They get to be time looped to them boys now before they're eternally executed to never fuck them boys. There you go. Yeah, thought you knew something about God? Yeah, you didn't know nothing about his terp? Yeah, you sure knew how to manipulate your dick up to into a little boy's butt, though, didn't you? Sick motherfuckers, man, buying little boys and fucking them, right? Did we get off into this from Mr. Potato Head? We still talking about Mr. Potato Head? We still talking about Mr. Potato Head. God, okay, I gotta stop. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm rambling on. I fucking know too much about what's going on here. And it just gets my fucking blood boiling, man. I just want to beat somebody's ass. You know? I can't wait for this shit to be done so we can get these fuckers into time loops and I can start time looping them. I'm going to be one of the time loopers, one of the punishers. I'll be like, yeah, I was there suffering while you was fucking little boys. You was stealing the coolant, the oil out of the ground. Yeah, that God said don't touch. And you was using the money to buy little boys. You're as bad as them motherfucking mainstream squatters in America who fucking goddamn didn't have no talent, but they were all pretending like they should be famous in my slot in the mainstream. Fucking taking my money and dumping it on themselves instead of doing what I would have did with it, which is buy, build animal sanctuaries and homeless shelters and shit. Stop the pedophilic reign of the mainstream and the sports and the fucking goddamn, these freaks. They call themselves in power. They can't control their own urges to defile innocence because they're controlled by subspheres. Ms. Potato Head is waiting for you. What you gonna do about Mrs. Potato Head? And there's also the Mr. Potato Heads for you females. This works the same way. The guy you ain't interested in. You know how you are. You know how you women are. You don't want to touch a man unless some awesome bitch already has him. Unless some awesome bitch already is invested in him. Unless his dick already smells like some awesome bitch's ass, you don't want to suck it. Unless his dick smells like some awesome bitch's ass, you don't want it in you. You don't want to look at him twice until some other awesome bitch wants him. Ugly bitch, you won't look at him twice. But if she an awesome bitch, she pretty like my wife, and she, she got a job and she's happy, with the man. Oh, you want to destroy that? That's a subspirit in you. Suddenly you want to fuck that guy. Suddenly he's all that. He wasn't nothing to you when he was all alone. Didn't nobody want him. But soon as a real bitch fucking pays him some mind, oh, you're ready to jump in bed with him. You see? Now, you have that out there. They're just like you. They're going to see your man. They're going to smell you on him. They're going to see, that you want him. That, hey, he has a woman. Men have this demeanor about them when they have a woman. They don't need you or another one, unless they're molested little freaks. Like some women, they were molested, so they were programmed to sneak around. They're going to divide their own house. They're going to rape their own husband. It's an act of rape to sneak around with another man behind your spouse's back, and you got secrets with that guy that, over your own spouse. It divided your house. Every second that you're keeping that secret is an active offense. It's an active rape against your spouse. Your spouse is being raped by the second. Yeah. These self-spirits know this, Mrs. Potato Head. You need to know this about the power of your pussy and go buy a goddamn vibrator. They sell the Great American Challenge. I have one myself. I still can't fit the whole thing up my ass, but I'm working on it. Now, Mr. Potato Head, you can go buy you very many different sized dildos. Take your husband with you so he can see what you're getting, so he knows when you're using it on you that, hey, okay, your stuff going to feel a little bit different because you're using this stuff on you instead of fucking around on him. And if you can't appreciate that, well, then let him know, okay, well, if you can't appreciate that I'm trying to share my sexuality with you and treat you like a full-grown man instead of a baby, well, maybe I should fuck around on you like you's a baby, right? Yeah. You need to talk with your man. You motherfuckers that got Miss Potato Head, you need to understand, she ain't Miss Potato Head no more. She model cover material now because you put that ring on her finger. So now you got to protect your house.